Nice to have you with us at chefjoly.com. You know, I'm here with Yvonne, a pastry chef, and we're gonna do some Financier. Financier fun cookies, very traditional. You know, something great with coffee or even the snack in the middle of the day. A lot of people see that in the store and they don't realize how simple it is to make. To make that, you know, the first process, we make the butter melt. It will become a little brown, you know, like what we call a beurre noisette. And there we put them in the different pan and we strain it, you know, we strain it because all the time when you do that process, you get little residue of the butter on the bottom of your pan, little brown, and you want to make sure you start with a clean base. I mean, that's what we got here in this pan, just some beurre noisette, you know, little brown butter. Yvonne gonna start to mix in the mixer the dry ingredient, you know, was the almond flour, the hazelnut flour. We got some of the all-purpose flour, and we got the powdered sugar. You know, that's all kind of a dry ingredient. And, you know, we're just going to mix all that together in a way like, you know, it's nice and consistent. I'm going to move this so that people can see what you're doing. The cool thing with that cookies, I think, is, you know, we got the baking powder at the last minute just to get it a little lighter. You're going to mix that, and we're going to do in two processes. I mean, we're going to do add, you know, that mixture with about 50% of your white eggs raw. Let them kind of mix nice together, get them like, almost like on the thicker side to make sure it's no lump or anything, you know, it's nice and smooth. We're gonna add a little bit of the vanilla extract, you know, in the mixing process, and we're gonna add a butter. The butter be a little warm, are gonna help to everything get nice and homogeneous and smooth. You know, that is mixing, you put the vanilla extract, about, you know, half of the white, just to keep that dough nice and thick, you know, to get a time to really, you know, work, you know, the dough to be smooth and loose. When it's that process, you know, we're gonna add the butter, finish the recipes, and you know, it's one of those recipes you want to let them set in the cooler for a couple hours before you really start to use it, because you know what's happening is since it's butter in there, you make it easy to work with it after. Even, you know, a lot of time I find out, and tell me if you don't agree with me, a lot of time I make that dough and I cook the next day and it look even better to the first day because you have time to settle and, you know, it just be good. I mean, there's something you can very easily keep, you know, in the cooler for a day or two and then use it. I mean, you want to bake it when you're ready to eat it. You don't want to bake it too early, but you can literally cook the dough like this, you know, in a, you know, protect the area in the cooler and use it, you know, oh, I need 10 for tonight, or I want to use 10 tomorrow. I will cook it, you know, a couple hours before you eat it because it's really no substitute of, you know, fresh ingredient like that. Here, you know, we're using a little shape cookies, flexi pan. I love it, it's very easy, you know, really nice and clean. Just put some in there, about 2/3 full, you know, and what we do at the restaurant, you know, since it's a bit of nuts inside there, we like to garnish the top of our cookies with something nuts, so that if anybody have any allergy of nuts or anything, you know right away in some inside the recipes. For instance, you know, if people have an issue with almond or something like that, you know, we go and garnish the cookies with a little bit almond. You can put pistachio in there. It's really bad matter of taste after that, you know. There, I got my roux. You see, we have the same liquid. This one is a little more liquid because remember the butter was warmed. I mean, if you put it back in the cooler, it will, you know, stiff the butter and obviously be, you know, just so much easy to work with it later. And there, you know, we just garnish with a bit almond. We're gonna throw that in the oven, you know, about 350. You agree with me, Yvonne?
Yeah, 350. I think it's better. 375.
Yeah. 350, 375. You're gonna see it cook literally. I don't think it will take very long because it's a small scale, you know, cookies. But you know, probably about 4 to 6 minutes until it's nice and gold. And there you remove it. You know, I like to let him cool down a little bit before removing from the pan because it's got tendency, I think, is become very fragile when you just bake. You know, to when you want to remove it from the form. And in that instance, you see I got one here with a little bit strawberry on top of a garnish, another one with a little bit almond for garnish, and that's really about what you prefer. I think is you need a little something on top to make them look, you know, elegant. There it is. Throw that in the oven. We're looking good. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it right there, and you're gonna come up and you know, after 4 to 6 minutes, you're gonna bake, and you're gonna see like that little strawberry kind of sink in the dough and just, you know, incorporate himself. The almond much lighter, stay on the top much easily. Great little cookies with coffee. You can make any shape you want, you know, very rich in content of, you know, nuts, you know, with the almond and the hazelnut power in there. Great, very easy. Great Financier. Thank you, Yvonne. Nice to have you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you soon. Hop.